wook+live.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I like the Santa at the end of that. I didn't expect that. Yeah,
My three favorite things. Ho, ho, ho.
Merry Wookmas. Welcome back to Wook Plus. I'm Weekend Wook, joined by the great Wen. T should be joining us later, but he's stuck in holiday traffic, which is appropriate. Unfortunate, but appropriate, living out in LA. What's up, Essie? Feliz Navidad, my man. And Llama. Yeah, Llama's celebrating Llama festivities right now. What's up, Mr. Plow Savvy? How you guys doing? Everybody's here. It's exciting. So we're gonna do like a little conversation, I think. Kind of keep it like live, but you know, also celebrate. I have a little office. I got my eggnog ready. You know, it's funny.
Meister.
I lost an antler. It's very unfortunate, but it kind of works out because now I can hold it like this. It's very convenient. Oh God. All right. You want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. So we have our article coming up, and it's due tomorrow, and I'm not done. So if anyone watched the long gig, I told you all that we had an article coming up. I could say it's for Jam Base. I think that's, you know, they would have probably appreciated it, and I'm really excited about it, but I haven't 100% got my thoughts wrapped around it. I'm mostly done, but I figured we could compare lists. So Kev prepared his top 10 list shows of the year. I prepared my list. I don't know what his is, and he doesn't know what mine is. And so we're going to go through ours, starting 10 and working up to 1, back and forth. And then all of you awesome wooks in the chat can let us know how we did. And if everybody says I'm a complete idiot, then I can edit it before it goes out to Scotty and Jam Base, and I don't look bad.
You can rethink.
Crowdsourcing, man. This is the future.
Exactly.
You want to go first, or do you want to be in the 2 spot?
My number 10 is 8523, one of 4 Madison shows that made my top 10.
Ooh, which one is that? That was night 7?
Yeah, that's the one we argued about that I was really big on, and you were like, dude, last night was better.
Yeah, I still maintain that, and it's funny. We'll get to the punchline of that joke later, foreshadowing. The 8.5 is a just miss for me, but I don't disagree with you. My 10 is a stretch, and it's probably paying a little bit of honor to it, a tribute, but I went Date in Night 2. I feel like the Nutter's like a famous venue, and it was fun, and there was energy there, and it's probably a little inflated, but I didn't want to have 6 MSG shows in my top 10.
Was that the 11th?
Yeah.
10. I had that as 21.
Wow, we are very off. Oh my God. All right. So what do you have as 9?
41723 at the Greek, the only spring tour show. Oh no, I do have another spring tour show. I got 2, but yeah, that's my number 9 is the Greek show.
Wow. We are very different. This is awesome. It's not even in my top 10. Wait, 417?
Yeah, 417.
Yeah, that is in my top 10. But it's not number 9. Number 9, I had Man Night 2. You love that show.
I did love that show, and I didn't even have it in the top 10.
See, that was Greek Night 1 that Kev was talking about.
I had Man as 14.
Okay. Wow.
That's not that far off. That's, you know, it's still a starter.
Yeah. I don't hate your list, actually. I think I get it at least, right? But that's also because I talk to you after every show. So, of course, I get why you picked the shows you picked.
Where I am. All
right.
All right. So, for 8, I had 9/1/23 at Dick's, the Friday night show.
Yeah, that was a good show. All right. 8, I had Greek Night 1. So, I was this is where my 417 was.
Oh, okay.
All right. What you got for 7?
For 7, I have Georgia 715.
That's Georgia Night 2. Cool.
Yeah.
I have Georgia Night 2, Tell them what you win. That's cool.
Nice. I'm surprised. I thought that we probably would have them, one apart maybe, but cool. We landed on one together there.
Yeah.
All right. For 6, I have my other spring tour, Hollywood 422.
All right. That was night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Great
All
show.
the night 2 seem to be better.
I don't want to give it up, but or give it away, but I have that coming up in a few shows, so I have that a little bit higher than you. That was a really good show. All right. So next I had Syracuse. Very
Okay.
high on Syracuse. I probably, if I was just being 100% like on my experience and my take, I probably have it even higher. But I didn't want to overinflate it. In reality, it probably is already too high, but I have it in this spot. So
I had it as an 11.
okay.
That's the one that was outside looking in. All right. So next I got 826 from
I know what it is. SPAC night 2. That's what I had next too.
Nice. Oh, so we are groupthink there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that show was just special.
The trucks guest spot was, I mean,
Best ever. Best ever guest spot.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen to that again. Actually, come to think of it, that was
that's
great.
what I'd go back because it's a nice section. You can listen to Golden Age on, and I remember it was fascinating because you could tell it took Derek a minute or two into the Golden Age.
I love the look on Trey's face though. Like he was almost not like shy, but like Trey's such a master. It's rare that you get to see him like in awe and like
of someone
else. And he was like, he had that like vibe of like, look who I'm playing with. Oh, this is so cool. Which it was cool. It was cool to watch. Okay, so we're at SPAC night 2. So that leaves us 4 shows left.
5.
5.
Right?
Shit.
Yeah. All right.
No, did I miss one?
I
1,
don't
2,
know.
3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 in, so we have 4 more.
Oh, all right. So I screwed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 11. So I'm pushing one up. All right. So that one should have been. All right. Anyway. All right. Which number are we on?
I have 4 left. You want to do 2 this time to catch you up?
No.
Your proper order.
We're going with it because I did send it to you so you can look at it. For my number 4, I had 1013 at the United Center.
Chicago night 1? That's what I had. Whoa, I didn't realize that our list would be so damn similar.
So you did do good.
Yeah.
All right, so next I had 9-2 from Dick's this Saturday night. I probably am higher on this than a lot of people, but the moment, it's the attendance bias for that one for me.
Yeah, I had LA Hollywood Bowl night 2, which I think you had a couple of spots earlier. So
7. I had it at 7. So
Star Lake, Tom. Yeah, Star Lake. I had pretty far down actually for Star Lake. I had that in like the 20 somethings early. Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. I had it at 18.
Yeah, I had it in like 22, 23 around that. I mean,
sorry,
I'm not gonna count it. Sorry, Tom. I mean, it's a cool venue, but like Syracuse, out of that weekend, Syracuse was way better. And Syracuse wasn't even the best show of the year.
Right.
No, it was a sick Pillagets. I mean, so here's the thing though, right? 2023 was a great year of Phish. The playing was, I would say, like better than 2022 by a pretty wide margin. Maybe not quite 21. I think 21 was a really special year. But we had a lot of great shows in 23. That's why this is such a hard assignment.
Right. The Fall Tour 21 was probably the best Phish of 4.0.
Right. And probably you could say more than a good part of 3.0 too, maybe with the exception of like the Bakers or 15.
19, it seemed like they had fired up the engine again.
There was a couple of weeks in 19 and fall 18, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It's all really fucking good.
All right, so number two, I got 8-1 from MSG.
8-1 from MSG. That's what I got too.
And then I got my top is 8-4.
And 8-4. Yeah.
So we got it. We're close.
Damn, I'm surprised how many that we had similar.
That's a good thing.
I feel like night 6
That
and
means that
night
we're probably right. If we're both feeling it, since we often come from different places, then
and it's cool because we still had some disparaging, or like variance between us. But once you get down to it, I think those were the clear winners. I thought night 6 and night 4, I actually had a hard time which one to put ahead.
right.
I went through that a couple of times. I was like, I don't know.
Night said, no matter what I said, that in the moment of listening that night, night 4 was the best show of the year. If you
I
were
know,
there,
and you're such a dick about it because I was so high on it, and you were like, oh, I don't know. Dude, that Mike's stand cross-eyed. Do you remember that? I think I said on the after show, and I maintained that like whatever it was, 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes, was some of the best Phish that we've heard in forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking really good. It is really, really good. Yeah.
It was. So let us know what you think as the show goes on, if you agree with us or not. And we
And
may
if you're
take
watching this
some of the-
after, let us know in the comments because I think I have until tomorrow morning to hand in my homework
Right.
assignment. So help me.
There's a question for you.
Certainly
The
two of them are
12:30
gonna.
show.
Yeah, two of them are gonna make the top 10. I would say. Just
Ooh.
yeah, I think 29 and 30 are gonna make the top 10. I don't think either one is gonna beat out the top two though, the other MSG shows, but they just play fucking so good at MSG. They play really well on the New Year's runs. The New Year's runs are always, I think, a little bit elevated compared to any other isolated run, especially lately. Right, that's how Dick's used to be when like Dick's first got going. They were like an elevated run, 12, 15, whatever. But I feel like the New Year's run is always special. But I have a hard time believing it's gonna surpass those early August shows. Those shows were so good.
Where did you have the man night too?
That was like 9, I think.
Okay. Chris was asking. I had it outside the top 10. And Tom, the gag is going to be, we got a little tea on that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah,
Or
we
did
did.
she not give us she gave us a non-committal non-answer there, maybe.
Yeah, well, we could talk about some New Year's Eve hype, and then that'll transition in Humphrey's New Year's Eve too. So, I don't know if we're gonna talk about Ben, Matt. I don't know if that's on the table, but so we had Ashley. Hey, what's up, T? You want to stay backstage? That's all right.
I'll be back in a second. I just
All right.
got home.
So we had Ashley Driscoll from Groove Safe on Sunday morning, and she works with a lot of bands and venues, obviously, and she works with Phish. So she was talking to their manager about New Year's, and the comment was, and I might be fucking up a little bit, so go back. I recommend going back and watching the Sunday episode if you didn't see it, because the interview and the conversation we had with her was really fantastic, and she's really awesome. But generally, they said something to the effect of, this New Year's is going to be really special for the hardcore Phish fans. Like it's almost, she made it sound like it was fan
Game
service.
Henge.
Well, that's what we were thinking, was like, what at this point would you consider fan service? And the reason that I say that is because everybody says they'll never do it. They'll never do Game Henge. And that's the only subversion of expectations that would make me think that it's even a possibility, is the fact that everybody says they would never do it.
And the question will be, we need to watch 12:28, 12:29, 12:30. Do any Game Henge songs show up? If they play none of them, then you probably should put a little money on that.
Then I should take a second mortgage and get the fucking New York for New Year's.
Right, exactly. And just so you know, let me throw this in there. Next week, when our pre-New Year show on Wednesday, I will be doing analyzing people's top 5 picks. If you want to pick 5
I don't know if
songs,
we agreed to that.
I think we did.
All right, I'm gonna make
Where's that red flag? I need a red flag so we can watch the tape.
Just describe to me what you're gonna do, because I'm gonna make a poll about it.
What?
Should Kev analyze
People's pick 5s?
Viewers 5, right?
I got to go see Karina
what's up,
last week
Tom?
with Tom.
Yeah, I love Tom.
It was fun.
I got to drive at one of the shows. Tom drove me back to our cabin. I think it was Bethel or something in his sick BMW. It was awesome. I was super fucked up, and I kept thinking to myself, please don't puke in this awesome car. It's so too fancy of a car to get
I
sick in.
love riding in Tom's car. Like, we went from the bar, and he had to move his car to park, and I was like, I'll go with you, Tom, so I could hop in with him.
Yeah, I was fucked up. I did not get sick though. I did not, but yeah, I wooked it up. Oh God, I do love you.
How we doing, T? Merry Christmas.
Good. Merry Christmas. I made it.
How was the
how's
LA
the 10?
traffic?
LA traffic sucks in the rain. What, Kev?
How's the 10?
I was not on the 10. I was on the fucking 405, which is worse. But yeah.
Oh, I wish we had the tray from Saturday Night Live to throw up.
I almost want to move out west just so I could talk like that for a little while. It seems so much fun.
If I said I was on the 32, people be like, "What the fuck you talking about?"
Yeah, I was on the 476.
And we all communicate that way. Like, honestly, and the best is, like the joke on the SNL skit, the Californians are the different freeway. Like, I mean, for me to get to Disneyland, it literally is. It's only a 40-minute drive, but it's the 105 to the 60 to the 90 to the 2 to the 5 to the, and you're like, how do I just take 6 freeways to get 40 minutes from my house?
To the window, to the wall.
The window, to the wall. Oh, come on out.
Matt, I think the game henge set in my mind would be the man who stepped into yesterday, with narration and in the order of the thesis.
I would go McGrupp to open, man who stepped into yesterday, game henge suite, but not Possum.
Do you think
what would be the New Year's though?
Do you think it would only be that set, or would the whole show kind of be?
I think it would be that set. It would be the magical world of game henge.
Just for that set.
But what song would be used as the climax though? Because like in the order of the man who stepped into yesterday,
Sloth would be the last song. You would end with Sloth.
Yeah, but the gag, I hear you, but the gag is usually you start with, no, it's usually in the middle. It's usually you build up to a middle and then you have the end of it, right?
You open up with McGrupp and you start, and then you go out of McGrupp, you go into Odd Lane sign, and then that transforms into Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday.
What if it was Colonel Forbins and the flyer was like, read the fuck, and then had the climax there, and then you had the Sloth after New Year's. Like, you can't do it into New Year's and then have nothing, right? Like, after Auld Lang Syne, you need to play something.
The New Year's would start with the normal Auld Lang Syne, but then go into Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday.
No, I think
and
it
the
has
crowd
to be
go wild.
No, they got to build into a countdown. I'm telling you, it has to be into the middle. It's either going to be Bag or Colonels. Colonel, that's a weird word. Colonels.
Colonel Forbin's the first song on the second side, though. It's the 5th song of the.
Right, it's after Bag. It goes No Man's, Lizards, Tila, Wilson, Bag, Forbins.
No.
Mockingbird.
No. His thesis does not. It's AC/DC, Bag, Wilson, Tila, something else. What's the other song?
I just told you what they are. It's the Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday, the Lizards. Tila,
oh yeah,
Wilson.
It opens with Lizards, then AC/DC.
It opens with the
Bag.
Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday. That's why.
Right, but then it's Lizards, AC/DC, Bag, Wilson,
Tila, Wilson.
And then the second side opens with Colonel Forbin.
Right, Fly, Famous Mockingbird,
Sloth,
and then Possum.
Right, but you're going to drop the Possum because they've never done the Possum as part of it. The
Possum's going to be the encore. You're going to end with the Sloth. You're going to end the third set with the Sloth, and then you are going to come and do Possum encore. It's Wookmas. We're allowed to.
All right, so let's make a sort of, let's curve off onto the exit. The other day, I have a podcast. If anybody doesn't know, it's called All That Jam. Separate from this, we had Joel
drink.
Plug.
We had we had Joel and Ryan on from Humphreys, and they spilled a little tea. So we're gonna run a clip of that, and
I
the rest
made the
of it,
very awesome visual of the clip from your podcast, but I just
he
wanted to
did.
take the credit for the visuals.
No, he
of
did.
it.
He knocked it out of the park. I was going to do that afterwards, but Sunday the whole episode will be out, and they spilled a lot more tea. I was amazed how open they were with what's going on. But
All right, let's play
out.
this clip. It's good, and I highly recommend everybody go check out Kev and Amanda's podcast. It's pretty good if you like podcasts.
That's fantastic. All right, let's touch on New Year's, and then I want to get into UM Bowl because that's what I originally reached out to you about. You have a New Year's run coming up. We're going to get an episode out before. So, you want to talk a little bit about that? Anything you want to spill the beans about beforehand?
Well, never want to spill the beans too much, but this one is, of course, a really unique run for us because we've got 3 different drummers that we've announced. Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, Ben Atkin from Goose, and Rory Dolan from The Special. And so, getting to prepare with these guys and having all these different conversations going on about, okay, what is everybody going to learn in advance? And, we had to make sure we have some fights right now over 1348, puppet string. Everybody wants to play those plunger. So we're trying to keep everybody happy with that. But Mike Portnoy in particular has been really fun because, we have so many common roots of bands that we like together. And as you know, with Humphreys, we've probably played like 750 or so covers over our career. So we try to go back and mine a few of these that we haven't played in a long time that were up Mike's alley. And we're going to be busting a few things out with him. I'm really excited about that. Ryan, I'll let you take over as I have another plane going over. Go ahead.
I think Joel summed it up pretty much right there. I do think that it's interesting that we have 3 drummers that want to play the same song, but for some jam band law, we're not allowed to play it with.
We could play it over 3 nights as an extended thing, like string the whole thing together.
Right? Just one long plunger. No, I'm very excited to play with all of these drummers. Ben, we've played with 4. He's a great guy. Rory, we've played with 4, and never performed with Mike Portnoy before too. So that'll be very special to have him with us before he reunites with Dream Theater. What else, Joel?
Well, again, just alluding to the fact that we're very excited for our not officially announced drummer that will be joining us at some point on the run as well, and getting back on the horse that is Humphreys. I know, I feel like all this time that Chris has been gone, there's been so much appreciation on the scene from both the fans and the other drummers that we all kind of just got this warm, fuzzy feeling from it of, like, oh man, Chris is like really beloved by all these people. And so it was great for us and especially great for him as he was going through and, he's been working his ass off on PT and, it's like, you're almost there, man. You're almost there. So yeah, I think we're going to have some really special moments on this New Year's run. And this will be unlike any other New Year's run we've done before, but closing out 25 years in Chicago at the Riv really felt like the right place to do this. So I know we're excited to kind of bring it back home to where a lot of our most important musical memories have happened.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow. Chris is back.
I'm happy to hear that. I mean, it was cool seeing the other drummers with them, but Chris is so instrumental, obviously, but like in their sound and the math rock, the tightness of it. I'm really happy for him. That's awesome that he's back. And if you got tickets to see him in Chicago for New Year's, you're gonna get a hell of a few shows.
So Sunday, check it out. If you want, you know where to find me on Twitter. I'm always posting about it. And we get into a lot more. So it's fun stuff. And thank you, both of you, for giving us a shout out there.
And enduring that was very lovely long clip.
Yeah,
But we have a rule of like 90-second clips, and we're like, that's like a 4-minute clip, Kev. Jesus
That was
Christ.
my
tell you
piss,
what-
that was my piss break clip. That's like a piss
Right.
break song.
Yeah, I did probably close to 130, a little more interviews this year. And some people, you ask them a question, like Mark from the Disco Biscuits, he'll talk for 15 minutes on one question. Other
Yeah.
people, you have to ask 19 questions in 15 minutes just to pull the info out of them. So it's a fascinating dynamic, and you never know walking into it, which you guys know. We've had people in here that it was pulling teeth to get something out of them, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have
Yeah,
somebody
we
like
got
Benji
Benji.
who gets
Tough one.
quoted in Jambase right off of our network.
That was cool. Also, not a podcast.
Not a podcast, an international television show.
Yeah.
I want to say real quick to Matthew Ross, the Forsberg jersey. I'm a huge Avs fan, but yes, a California native, but I grew up in Colorado and had season tickets to the Avs when they came, and those are my boys. I love them, and yeah, you can't see it, but it is signed too. Peter and Patrick Wall are like my favorite two players. I have a Patrick stick in here too somewhere, and a signed thing from Patrick, and actually played golf with him once. Anyway, just wanted to
LA is a big hockey town.
the Kings won 2 cups, man.
I hate the Kings, man. I hate the fucking Kings. I'm a Devils
do nothing.
fan,
I'm not a
and the
hockey
last cup, I went to every single game. Well, every Jersey game. I didn't go out to LA, but I went to every game in that Cup series. And what was it? Game 6 or 7, whatever the last game was. Fucking, I
They
hate
could have
the
won
Kings.
it in Jersey. They had the
I
chance
know!
to yeah.
I hate the
I
Kings.
know. And then the Kings beat them and came back
There
here.
were-
And I'll tell you a funny story there, Tim. I went to that game that we beat them for. I went to the game against Jersey when we won the cup, and I went to the game against the Rangers when the Kings won the cup. And because I'd always wanted to see the cup skated. And in '96, I had tickets to game 5 for the Avs, but we swept Florida. And in '01, I was out here and couldn't go back to see the Avs win it at home with the Bork Cup. So when the Kings went, I was like, I don't care what I'm spending. I'm going to see the cup skated. I'm paying. I don't care. So I went both times. And it's like, if you're a moment in the world, like the Stanley Cup is the greatest trophy ever, and to see that thing come out and like them skate it and do that, it's the coolest ceremony too, because they skate the cup around the ice and like hang out. They don't just like do a speech and grab a trophy and go to the locker room. They like hang out. It's cool. So
I don't know if I like talking about this stuff, because that was the first year that I had season tickets, and literally at the Rock, the Prudential Center where the Devils play, I missed like 3 games that year. I was so fucking into it all the way till the end, and then and honestly, I haven't gone back since. That was the last year I had tickets.
It broke your heart too, right?
It really did. I mean, that was the hardest. Like, I'm not a huge sports guy, but that was hard for me. That was a hard year, like to not win after what a great year.
The Devils had a great run for a while. I mean, those crappy fucking trap years and the Brodeur days, man. Brodeur, I was a big Wah fan, so I always. But the Devil. Hey, and by the way, the Devils are the old Colorado Rockies, like the original.
I love the old jerseys too
from Colorado. Yeah, Rocky hockey, baby.
I have a Flyers shirt, and on the back it says, "I fart to make Devil fans smell better."
Fuck off. No, it's funny because I live outside Philly now, and like my daughter's is a Phillies fan, and I like the Phillies because like everybody's respectful and shit. And I'm happy for the guys that work in everything and my neighbors when the Eagles win. But fuck the Flyers. I don't give a shit. I will never root for them. You guys all suck. I don't care if I live here for another 50 years. I will never root for the Flyers.
I hate the Flyers. The only good thing about the Flyers was they built the Avs team in '96 with that Lindros trade because of that. But and they had the greatest nickname of any line ever, the Legion of Doom line. Like that is the greatest name for a line.
Yeah.
But I digress. Like I love hockey. So
watching the numbers drop.
Now let's go into Marvel. Let's move right into some Marvel talk after sports.
No, I wanted to recap the Sphere rumors, and so we did a microdose, and we did the Sphere ticket buy, and we talked about it on Sunday. So if you've already heard all this, I apologize, but I realized
disappearing microdose.
Yeah, but we didn't get it all out there, so I figured like I just wanted to make it clear. Because we botched the dates because the rumors for 2025 but I already assumed we were in 2024. So I kept saying next year, but Phish is not returning to the Sphere next year beyond the 4 shows.
Before you go any further, let me ask the chat something. Now,
right.
if in 2 weeks from now you're watching that, it would have been right, correct?
Right, but then I said 2024 because you fucked me up. It's all your
It's funny
fault.
because if you watch it, you kind of get it because you're kind of assuming. I always figured December's kind of next year anyway, right? Like as you're talking about it, so it kind of felt like. But then we kind of said something else in it. I was like, oh, now it does say like we're talking about this year, but this year's over. It can't be this year, or you know what I mean? Like it has to be.
Right.
And it can't be
All right.
next year because we know they're only
I
playing
thought
8
that,
next year.
T, but then when we posted it, the first like 4 or 5 comments were, wait, 2024? And I had to keep explaining, no, 2025. So then I just took it down. So here's the rumors. There's 2 rumors that we had from our sources, which have since there's been other sources that have come out with like Jambase and Post and everything. Phish is in talks for 8 more shows in 2025. And my understanding is that everything is already worked out and coordinated, and they're just waiting to sign to see how the numbers, not the actual show numbers, but the ticket numbers work out and everything for this year.
Well, they sold out in 6 seconds.
Yeah, and it was the highest lottery draws of any Phish show in modern
And
history.
as we said in that video that you took down, I don't think 8's enough. Like
I
8
think
is
8
not
is
enough.
too much in fucking Vegas. Are you kidding me?
I want
Yeah,
a
but
month.
not for a run for people to come see them. You know, I mean, I definitely wouldn't go to 8 shows, but I'd go, like we said on the thing that you took down, I'd go to 2, right? You do 2 or 3. I could do that. I wouldn't do 12 or whatever, but you do a couple
15.
because I don't think
You do 15. You do 3 weeks, 5 a week. And then people can come for a Tuesday,
you
Wednesday,
go.
or they can come for a weekend.
a month. It's like a month. Do the month.
you
Do
d-
like a month.
If you did 15 or more, the nice thing about it is people, I mean, there would still be crazy wooks that try to hit every show, but that would dissuade a lot of people from trying to stay in Vegas for the month. 8 is going to be dangerous because everybody's going to be, not everybody, but a lot of people are
I'll
going to
do
be trying
8.
to do the whole
I
run.
can do 8 Vegas.
I can do 8. Yeah,
Well,
no
but
problem.
Tim,
And by night 6, fucking everybody, it's complete debauchery.
I think the
The
other thing in
memes,
that
the memes.
is since they've kind of, I think if they did something like that, I think with 8, you're still looking at no repeats. If you did like a 15 or something, you would expect repeats. So you wouldn't be as like crammed in to hope that you're getting the good show.
The
You know what I
song
mean?
you
Like,
want, the belly or
right.
whatever.
That's that show that you want. And like, oh, I hope this is, you know what I mean? You're still going to probably get a couple. So it wouldn't be so bad. And you'd probably get, you know, maybe 2 blaze-ons where one's got that sweet jam in it and the other one's a little bit shorter, but like they'd change it up. But I think you'd have repeats in that, which would make it a little bit less FOMO-y.
Yeah. I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those meta headsets, the virtual reality headsets for the run. So since I can't be out there, I'm just going to drop a dose and put it on the VR headset and I'll have the true crazy visuals.
Hey, here's a question for you. Will those shows be on Live Phish? Can they stream those
Oh, yeah.
shows?
Yeah, they'll just show the
Yeah.
band.
Well, they'll
Just-
have like a camera or a
Like we
drone
do
or
now.
something.
It'll be just like they do now with no wide shots.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Because I mean, it would be kind of, I don't know, what would that be like being at home watching like that shit? Like, where would you know where to? I don't know. I guess if it's all planned out, they know where to cut to and what they would be showing. And would they
I
just
think
show?
you'll still get a good show at home, but you're not going to get the specialness of it, right? Like
Well, right.
there's
I don't know. I
there's
think
no
it'd
way
be
you get
so
that
weird
experience.
to watch it at home. That would be strange.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
somebody has to cover it. Where else are you going to go 15 minutes after Encore? Oh, by the way, with this New Year's run coming up, join us 15 minutes after Encore for full recaps of every show. And if you're a member, you can join us for the set break hangs. Those are going to be a lot of fun.
The plug.
The plug. That was seamless. I had to take that opportunity. T just, lobbed it up for me. He was like, hey, take this.
All right. So what is Mickey and the Miracles? I know you gave us the link, T, and I too long
did not read
it.
it.
Did not read it.
I did not either. So this is all you, T.
So Nikki's
T's like, I didn't read it. I was hoping you guys were going to read it.
Mickey.
That's why I posted the link.
That's right. You're exactly. And Mickey is forming a new little project. It's called Mickey and the Miracles. They're going to have their inaugural performance at the Dead Ahead Festival in Mexico. The 12th is their plan. Is when they're playing. They're it's this Noche de Ondes late night set. It will see Mickey accompanied with Derek Trucks and his fellow drummer Isaac Eady, as well as Bob Weir and Wolf Brothers, Dead and Co drummer Jay Lane, and Giovanni Hidalgo and Carl Perazzo. So they're gonna do this
four
little
fucking drummers.
yeah. So it's
That's
scheduled for 11
crazy.
p.m. on the beach stage. It's gonna be 90 minutes long.
Everyone's naked.
Everyone's naked. The theme or whatever, it says this music ties together many musical worlds, the worlds of blues through the soulful slide guitar of Derek Trucks, the world of Latin music through the percussion mastery of Giovanni Hidalgo and Carl Perazzo, and the world of New Orleans funk through the bass playing of Isaac Eady, and the world of rock and roll through the tight and energetic drumming of Jay Lane and the cosmic sounds of the mind of Mickey Hart. So it's going to be pretty intense. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Kind
I
of
think
fucking cool, actually.
Yeah,
Mickey and Jay had such a great chemistry, right? T last summer. I mean, how many times did we talk about they were,
on
so
it?
that's
Like those two. I think those two playing together, and then I don't know, barefoot in the sand, drums, that whole like theme going on. Sweet.
I'm going to Mexico.
I mean, sweet.
I'm going to have to sneak into the country, though. I don't have a passport. Do you think I can sneak into Mexico?
No. Well, yeah, probably.
You could probably sneak in.
It'll be easier than the other way.
Yeah. Kevin's going to be doing the border crossings. You can let us know when you get in one of the caravans on the way back.
I feel like that's going to be really sweet, and I would dig watching that, but I feel like I wouldn't want to watch it for like a tour. Right, like I feel like that's a cool thing to catch at like a festival.
You
or, like,
catch
for a
the
couple
one
nights.
show, right?
And then I'm good. You don't want to go on Mickey and the Miracle tour. You just want to catch one Mickey and the Miracle.
Well, you know, when he did the Magic Box tour with what was with Further in 96 or 97, and then they toured that fall, the set lists were similar every night.
Yeah.
You know, there wasn't that much deviation. So you go see one show, you might miss the one night they do the special song, but you're going to see the show everyone else saw.
I mean, I think it's a cool thing, especially to your point, Tim, at a festival. Like, what a great thing.
Yeah, end of night, late night.
And yeah, 11 o'clock when you're, I mean, between that and the water and the sand and some good drugs, fuck yeah.
You're in Mexico. You got to watch it. There's somebody, I don't know who was telling me this, but they were down in Mexico for some festival, and the guy tried to cop a little something special, and the police kicked in the door of his room because they thought he was swinging it.
What?
That's messed up. I'm sorry.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said, but I don't even want to revisit it.
Exactly.
I think my New Year's resolution is going to be stop being poor so I can do all these crazy shows and festivals.
It's more get out of debt.
Right, exactly.
We should start a campfire ministry and get people to plant seeds, $1,000 seeds.
I thought you were going to say we should start a GoFundMe.
No. I want to start a ministry. We'll save some people, make a little money.
Can we start a Tim to the Sphere GoFundMe? Just be upfront about what it's for.
Right. I feel like if I was honest about it,
right.
Like, listen, I'm in debt because I saw too many shows and I need money to go see more shows.
I'm going to go see more shows. Fund my Sphere adventure.
People would be like, all right, I'll throw a couple bucks at least you're honest about it.
Exactly. Just,
What,
Jimmy wants to know the rest of the story.
They found nothing. They found the guy's little bit, and they told him, don't do this, and when your show's over, you leave the country and don't come back.
Oh, was he the artist?
Huh? No.
He
was just a partier. No, he was trying to cop, and for whatever reason, it got twisted around. The police thought he was the one trying to sell it, so they kicked in his door.
Drugs are bad, kids.
Yeah, don't do coke in Mexico. I think weed's legal. Or if not, go to the pharmacy. I got a script for Xanax when I was on a cruise once. I hopped off in Mexico, got a script for Xanax.
You can definitely get prescriptions in Mexico pretty easily.
Don't sell anything over the counter. I need some Valium. They're like, how many? You want the 5s or the 10s?
Yeah. That's it.
Anyway. Oh, so the other Sphere rumor we didn't end up hearing anything about, but was about, and this was reported everywhere, so everybody knows about it. Was about Dead and Co. or whatever they're going to call it. You know, I don't know if they're going to call it Dead and Co. or not.
Mayer and Company.
Yeah, it's essentially the same instrumentation, right? But them playing the Sphere. And that seems like it's almost certain, but it's a very like they're working on contracts and shit and haven't announced it. But
You
so
know what? When I think of them playing there in Phish, you know how I've said to you, I don't think Phish will jam. Everything will be more canned because of the graphics. When
right,
you say
your
Dead
bad
Company
take.
playing there, I don't think that because I think what the Dead Company will do will have all those weird spirals and fractals just going.
And why couldn't Phish do that?
Well, I think Phish would. I don't know. I feel like Phish would have like film and like have you flying through the sky for a song or something. So you're looking at the screens feeling like you're
Right, but they can use loops and different, color distortions and visual effects. Right, like you could have spacey, like, right, effects where you're flying through space and supernovas and shit that just go on like loop until they switch, and then you have Crota set up with the commands to switch into different transition to different things. Listen, look at our background. Look at this. It's a snow loop, right? So if they're doing 7 Below, you could have a snow loop going, and it doesn't matter if they jam it for 5 minutes or 20 minutes. It's a fucking loop,
Wouldn't that drive you crazy, like having snow fall behind you for a whole episode of
Well, hopefully they do cooler loops than that, but no, I don't care.
They did this really cool thing when I saw Phoenix and Beck a few months ago. Phoenix did this really cool video thing. They had this one song that had to be timed out perfectly because it was done to the video, but it started with like this couple, I think they were laying just in the grass, and it did like a zoom out, so like went from them sitting there and pulls out and it goes like through Earth and the solar system, and just keeps, it goes forever, and there's a little timer at the bottom that tells you like how far you are from Earth or whatever. And it's while the song is going too, so it kind of goes with like the spaciness of the song or whatever, but then it gets so far out there, and then it like gets to this point and does its little thing and whatever, and then it slingshots back and starts coming back into Earth, and the song's like pick it, and so like it kind of goes together. And I was enthralled by the whole thing. Like when it was over, when it was done, like I looked at Alex and I was like, that was really cool because you have to be timed out perfectly for the song, for certain song hits to hit in the video live, which was really cool, and it was like filmed to it. So I was like, so thinking of that, I think there's so many cool things that in the way that they can incorporate video
That's straight out
elements
of a planetarium, though. The size scaling and like showing the galaxy and the universe and everything. That's the shit you can see, and it's like perfect. Just pull some planetarium shit. We're all a bunch of wooks. They're gonna
maybe they can simulcast the Sphere shows to planetariums around the country.
I have a planetarium like a half hour from me. That would be great.
Do they do any laser shows on the weekend still?
They, believe it or not, they still do Pink Floyd.
Nice.
They once a month. Yes, thank you.
Laser
well, you could tell if it is or not based on how my words get slurred the later we get into the show.
I just love that you had the vacation cup and the fucking eggnog.
One horn. He's down to one horn.
Singing.
That's one fucked up moose cup.
Oh man, we almost missed a great segue, but we're going to talk about another article that T threw out at us, and
another article I didn't read.
This is totally in T's wheelhouse because he loves the production, and he is our CK5 stan.
And our CK3.
That's right. It was just an article that Gateway Studios or that they put out, which is kind of the new. So Phish switched who they are using as their video production crew in 2018. Well, didn't really switch, but they just kind of took it over in 2018. And their head, the guy that directs all the shows, Trey Kerr, opened up this new facility just outside of St. Louis for all bands to come to as a rehearsal studio. It's got like all these crazy, again, audio visual things that you can test out all your lighting rigs and all your stuff before going on tour, test out all this new equipment and everything. And so they did this article talking about Phish and their lighting, and there's some great CK5 stuff in it. And Trey talks about, shooting Phish. A couple funny things though that I pulled out of it. One interesting thing is they shoot everything in 4K HDR, which back in 2018 they were the only ones doing that, which is crazy that they were shooting it all the way back then. And they're still, if you watch a lot of live music, it's not shot in that. It's mostly a television thing, which is why I think a lot of times Phish shows look so much better than a lot of the other shit you see streaming because of that quality that they're shooting
If
in.
you
So
pay
I mean,
for it. I don't pay
Exactly.
for it, but you should. You probably should. I probably will for New Year's.
but yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like it's pretty it's, I mean, they're legit, you know what I mean? Like you're actually working with good quality stuff up there. Same thing with like, you know, what they're using on stage and everything. So it's pretty cool. And then the funny thing though is in Trey's little, so it's broken into segments. Each guy like has a little bit of segment that they talk about, and they kind of go off of each other, which is kind of cool. But Trey's talking back about filming and you know, like how he kind of looks at the stage, and he's like, you know, there's not just 4 guys up there, there's 5, because we have to include the lights. And he talks all about this, like, you know, what Kuroda's doing up there, and we want to make sure we're including the lighting rig and this and that. And I'm like, dude, you don't like just have a lock off camera that we can switch to for that, because I don't think I don't know if he feels like they show enough of the lights or that they are doing it justice by what they show, but definitely not. I mean, I think we can all agree that going to a show and seeing CK5's lights is an experience, and something that I think should be more included in the live stream, because you're already kind of, it's set up for it, right? Like you're visually at home on your, like watching the lights would be a cool thing to see from that vantage point from your
If they
so
gave you control of the cameras, I would pay the $30 to $50 that they asked for, right? I think it would be worth it.
I think it would be interesting if they did that and collected the data on who chose what cameras, and to see how much CK5 was chosen over like watching the band or something, as far as like what you would watch.
I would do 50% CK5, 45% Fishman, and 5% the whole like close up of the rest of the band. I love watching Fishman.
Wouldn't it be cool though if you could control that on your own and be your own director?
That's what I'm saying. Like give for that price point, give us control that I can choose.
Right.
And we all know the music well enough
Right,
that
that's
we
right.
know,
Well, that's what
there's
I
a
was
big
getting to.
fill coming up. I'm going to look at Fishman, or it's a white light moment. I'm going to go out and see the lights. We know that. We don't need you to make those decisions.
That's what I was going to say, is like you would get to see it from the way you want to see it, which is probably not the same way I want to see it. You know what I mean? So like we would be able to control, which is probably the same thing that Trey wants us to, you know what I mean? Or that like everyone, it's not the same. It's kind of like that whole thing about the way everybody experiences a show different. It's the same thing at home. Like you'd want to be in control.
That would be fucking great. That'd be
things that you want.
This is a office party, right?
Yeah. Why? Well,
I'm gonna run and grab a beer.
All right. Surprised it took him 48 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, how many did he have before the show? He's usually about 10 or 12 in the hole before we even start.
Hey, Merry Wookmas, Chris.
You're on number 5.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And we're
you just had 4 to start.
Wild little thing, because the guy at the liquor store was like, dude, it's the last 6-pack. I'll sell it to you for $7. And I was like, fuck it, I'll drink it for $7.
All right. So now we're getting to the point of the night where it's really what it's all about. It's best Christmas movies of all time. Now, here, let me take off the pressure. Before we even crown the winner of the all-time best Christmas movie, let's just go around and take turns throwing out movies that we really like. And we don't need to have it be, you know, this is the ultimate movie. I think if we do a couple of rounds of throwing out movies we all like, then we can kind of come to a consensus, or maybe not. Maybe we argue until
I would love if we had 2 winners, a real life and an animated or animatronic.
Well, I was going to say 2 winners, a heartfelt and a comedy, because I have 2, right? And I'll start by throwing one out. I think Christmas Vacation is my favorite. I don't know if it's the best, but it's just like the perfect comedy Christmas movie. As far as like heartfelt, and there's a bunch of good heartfelt ones, but I like It's a Wonderful Life. Like it's just a movie that we watched every year with my family, and I think that's up there. But I think there's a lot of good contenders, though, besides those 2.
I'll throw out to start the 1984 Christmas Carol with George C. Scott, which is the best Christmas Carol.
No, second best. I will throw out the Muppet Christmas Carol, which
third best, because I think that, but I think the old one, like I told you,
the old one is scary. The old one is like a horror.
The old one is scary.
It's the best
I only
one,
half
though.
joke about the Muppet one, but I do actually like the Muppet one a lot. But They're all
Where's
good.
Daisy? Where's Daisy at? She would be on board with you.
There's
So what
other
you got,
Christmas
T? Throw
carols,
one
though.
out. What you got?
My all-time favorite. Well, there's two of them. The Charlie Brown Christmas special is like my favorite.
Solid.
That's like top. I have to watch it every year. And then my all-time favorite movie is the original Miracle on 34th Street. I love that's Christmas to me. I love that movie. Like it's perfect. It's short enough. It doesn't drag. It's got a great story. I can watch it 1,000 times. I watch it every Christmas Eve. Like that's my go-to, and that's my favorite. Those two, at some point every year, I have to watch them, or it's like a fail Christmas, right? Like I have to be able to get those two in. So
You know what's an interesting exercise? Watching the OG 34th Street and then the 94 34th Street, and just seeing how the writing in cinema changed over those 40 years. It's
And
generally
how
the
women
same
are
story.
represented.
Well, okay, so there's improvements, right? But there's also a lot of like spelling out and like spoon feeding plot, and like you lose the intellectual, like you actually have to like pay attention a little bit. But ironically, the 94 movie compared to today's cinema actually looks like a masterpiece because it actually had like set lighting and shit. And now it's like everything's like,
yeah.
vanilla'd out. And you're like, man.
I think the one thing I love about it too is it's black and white. Like I'm a sucker for old black and white movies too, which make it just, I don't know, it gives it that extra element to it that I love. So yeah.
You guys ever see Mixed Nuts?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's a weird one. It's like a cult one, but what's his name?
Not in that cult.
Oh, dude, it's great. What's the fucking guy's name? The comedian from.
We have no idea because we've never seen it.
And you gotta give me a bit more than that.
Steve Martin. Steve Martin. It's one of those Martin comedies from like the 80s, 90s, early 90s, I think. That was a funny movie.
The best was Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. That was hilarious.
That was a great one.
Die Hard's a great one.
What's another movie? Scrooge. Die Hard, of course. I actually, self-promotion, I actually cut a Die Hard Christmas trailer for Fox Home Entertainment a few years ago. It's up on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description. We made it. They wanted it to finally answer the question that it is a Christmas movie, so we cut a movie trailer for them for their home 4K movie release that made it into a Christmas movie. It was a great one of my funnest spots I ever cut. I won a Clio award for it.
T, by the way, we have a new rule. Anyone who says link in the description assumes the responsibility of adding the link to the description. Okay. Yeah. I want to make that clear because I am not going to remember to go back and put the link in the description.
I was going to say I'll put the Die Hard link in the description, and I'll put the 2 article links in the description too for everybody.
You can
reference.
Look at him signing up for all this homework.
So what you?
Where's our producer these days anyway? We have an opening. I think
another movie, Tim.
I feel like, well, all right. So I'll give one that I really like, and then I'm going to ask you guys one that's maybe controversial. Elf, I feel like, is maybe not underrated anymore, but because it's like newer, it doesn't get the same like esteem as the older comedies. But I feel like Elf is a instant classic when you're talking about all these Christmas movies. I fucking love Trading Places, but that is not a Christmas movie. That is a Thanksgiving movie, and it is the best Thanksgiving movie. But yeah, I fucking. No, not Trading Places.
Through Christmas because
not Trading Places. Cars, Trucks, Buses. Trading Places is fucking
Planes,
great
Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh no, it's fucking eggnog. It's messing me up.
I mean, Trading Places is a Christmas movie because he's screwed up and drunk and steals.
Wait, why am I getting all these movies mixed up?
As Santa, and it goes right through the holidays.
The eggnog,
maybe boobs.
Wait, was that Steve Martin? No, that's not Steve Martin. Steve Martin was in
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Dan Aykroyd was in Trading Places.
Dan Aykroyd was in
with Eddie Murphy. Yes,
right.
Yes.
And the one I was going to ask you guys about though was Christmas Story, because that's one that I like now. It's grown on me, but for years and years and years, I watched it begrudgingly. Like I felt like I had to watch it. But like I don't know,
he shows it every hour for
exactly. That's the problem. My whole life, I watch it like 18, 20 times.
Every time you turned on the TV, it was one.
And I got sick of it, but now it's come back to me. But are you guys high on Christmas Story? Or are you like, no, fuck that
It's
movie?
a good movie. It's one I watched with my kids, but it didn't. The next year they didn't ask to watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not very lukewarm on it. I know some people like really
Some
like
people
it.
swear by it, like it's
Yeah.
like the
Like,
Bible.
see it top one every year. So it's just kind of like one of those. It's some people's miracle on like that's my Miracle on 34th Street. That's my Christmas Story.
You know,
so.
I don't like it, but I feel dirty if I don't watch it in a Christmas season. I don't think in my entire life I've gone, or at least in my adult life, I've gone through a year without watching it. Like I've watched it already this year. I watch it every year, but I'm not super high on it.
I'm gonna throw one out that's a black and white one for you, T. White Christmas.
I love White Christmas.
It's a classic, and that's a heartfelt. That's more of the heartfelt.
And I don't know if other people do these, do it this way, but that's our opener. That's our season opener. Like when we put the lights up in the trip for the first point, the first Christmas movie every year that we start with is White Christmas. That's
nice.
That's like our inauguration.
But
Hey, it's Christmas now.
Did you know that White Christmas, that was not where that song came from? That song actually came from a movie 8 years before called Holiday Inn. And that's where the song was first debuted.
I was going to tell him that too, but I let him go with it.
No, I was just saying that he didn't say that's where it came from. I was just saying that.
White Christmas is in color. It got Technicolor.
Right.
And Bing's eyes are like ridiculously blue because the way they remastered it, they made it like AI on a big, crazy blue.
All right. Well, what about the Rankin Bass? Santa Claus is coming to town. You're without Santa Claus. Rudolph.
Grew up on him. You know that I was gonna say though, that whole run of them, even like that Frosty, the old Frosty cartoon, the Burgermeister, the Burgermeister burger that you have somewhere, Cav, that you have the
Year Without a Santa Claus. Yeah,
that one, like all those, even the. I don't know if you remember the Night Before Christmas one with the mice that lived in like some guy's little house.
Oh, the clock.
The clock. Yeah.
Oh no, we're dating ourselves too.
Very right, but that one, like I
always
remember
shit.
Always remember that one.
Oh, man.
Oh, I have seen Spirited with the Ryan Reynolds one was funny last year. It's good to see they're making some decent new ones. Like you said, Elf is kind of an instant classic one that kind of fell in that range.
They make tons of Christmas movies every year. So let me ask
some
you,
good ones.
Stop. They make tons, but like Hallmark and like Lifetime.
Right, where are you on Hallmark? Where are you on the Hallmark movies? Because I watch a couple every year because I like the soap opera feel and the love story. They're so lighthearted and
dude, I have a confession. That is 100% my guilty pleasure. I watch so many fucking Hallmark Christmas movies. I wake up to get the girls ready.
Kleenexes crying in the corner.
I don't know why, but I fucking just love it. I wake up in the morning to get the girls ready for school, and I put on the Netflix ones or the Hallmark ones, or we have like that Samsung TV has like a holiday movie.
Yeah, that channel. Yeah,
I have it on, and
yeah.
I just fall into the middle of a movie, and I know the story. It's like pretty white girl goes to the country from the city, and the farm boy like makes her feel.
She goes home to save the parents' farm, or
right.
I mean, you know what you're getting into, and you rate him on a level of like bad, really bad, really really bad, right? Is like kind of.
But those are the ones I love the most. The worst ones are the best.
Bad, you're like, I can get to that. If it's really bad, you're like, well, okay. And if it's really really bad, you're like, man, that's one of those that like. Do
you ever play How Many Actors? Like, I've seen her before. She's definitely been.
And you're always like, that's the guy from that thing we watched. Remember that other that thing? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wait, is that the
best part about them is they're great to fall asleep to. So you can take a nap like that and not feel like you missed anything in a movie. Like it's great. Yeah,
my wife is not keen on it though, which makes it hard. That's the tension of the holiday.
Weird. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that is weird because Alex is the one that loves them too, and I've kind of like softened it to them because I'm like, it's Christmas, whatever.
I think she used to like them, but I've overdone it. I like anything else in my life.
I ruined it for her.
She liked it as like a passing thing, and I was like, holy shit, feed this to me.
You're like, no. You're like watching him out of season 2, right? Like you're watching him in July.
Year round.
Like, not now, honey. I got a Christmas movie on.
I got to give some shout outs to the new generation. I don't know if anyone in any of the viewers have kids or anything, but Prep and Landing, if you have Disney, this is a very niche thing. So I won't stick on it for long. But if you have kids and you're watching and you have Disney, check out Prep and Landing. It's fucking amazing. It's great for the parents, great for the kids, really funny. And then my daughter, I have to give a shout out, was the Grinch, the Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch, though, not the OG Grinch
Not the
or the
cartoon?
Jim Carrey. No, not the OG or the Jim Carrey one. The new Illumination one. Fucking obsessed with that movie. We've watched it like, I don't know, 48, 49 times so far this season. It's
But see, that's an
perfect.
interesting thing, Tim, because that's why they keep, sometimes you'll be like, why are they remaking the Grinch again? Or why are they doing it? Because every generation needs like their version of it, or like the one that it's updated for. Like they don't necessarily like the old one that we find so nostalgic. They're like, that animation sucks. Like this is stupid. And
it's weird
now, like, Jim
because
Carrey isn't the big guy, so you're like, oh, I don't need to see. Who's this fucking guy in this crazy like out? Oh, now it's like that supercomputer like looking one, and they're like, this is what I'm used to seeing.
and my daughter loves that one, and it's funny because in our house we have 3. I like the OG cartoon. That's my Grinch.
Right.
My wife is the Jim Carrey one, right? Which
Oh,
I get. And
that's
then
a Wonka take.
I know, but then my daughter is all
That is a
about
Wonka
the
take.
Illumination one. So we fight about it, and my daughter wins because that's how it is,
Of
What
course.
do you know? One more I'll throw out.
Oh no,
there.
yeah, we'll do a couple more because I want to do some
All right.
guilty pleasures. If you have any other
All right,
guilty
what is
pleasures.
Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie?
In our house, we treat that as a Halloween movie. We
Yeah.
play that at Halloween.
Alex gets it for both though. She plays it for Halloween, and then she gets to play it for Christmas too. And like the decorations stay up too. Like she just gets to switch them over to Christmas.
She's got
it's
like
her
a
one
4-month
thing.
period. She doesn't have
Right,
to do
exactly.
anything.
It's the one thing I do like because she loves that movie and loves it. So I'm like, okay, fine, you can have that. You get that. Go for
That
it.
is a popular one in our house too, though. We watch it a lot in October, November. By this time of year, it's died down.
So where are you on Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka? No, just kidding.
No. Where's your wife on Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka? That's the question.
I think she wants to see the Tim Chalamet one, though. I don't know. She hasn't said that, but we had a big Dune thing, and like she was like smitten by the movie, and I kept thinking like, is it the movie or is it Chalamet?
I hear he is the best Wonka ever. Now I'm gonna have to
I've
go
heard that
see
too.
it
I heard
to
it's really
confirm.
good. I'm
He
looking
was
for once I get to
fucking
New York.
great in
I wanna go
Dune.
see it. Yeah.
Did you guys see Dune?
I did see Dune, and I'm
was
I got
great in it.
sad the day that it was supposed to be released part 2, and it wasn't earlier.
By the way, hey, real quick, Kev, have you seen all the talk, like all this shit going on with Zack Snyder's new movie, Rebel Moon or whatever, and how him and Netflix, it's all this shit now that's come out that Netflix didn't allow him to release his version of the movie. So the version that's out
They're gonna do
again
a
is like
Snyder
this-
cut again.
So now there's this whole thing, and half the people are like, "This is bullshit. You already did this. Like, why are you trying to play us again?" And then other half are like, "Why can't you just cut the movie the way it's supposed to be cut and release it like that? Like, why does there always have to be another version?" So once
I
again,
didn't
we're
either.
gonna get another Moon Cabin ultimate director's cut that we need with fucking Snyder.
You know
It's
that
insane.
I was intrigued by not Moon Cabin, Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
But that almost makes me like not even want to commit the time to it because it's like, what the fuck, man?
I want to see
especially
Percy
because-
Jackson. Have you seen the trailer for Percy Jackson?
yeah,
My
that looks
youngest
great. It's out.
read all the books. That looks really good, better than those dumb movies they did.
Tomorrow
look
I
good.
get my Steam Deck and I'm never going to talk to any of you ever again. That'll probably be the end of wook+. I've always been a Nintendo guy, so I've never gotten into AAA.
Oh, dude, it won't be the end of wook+. It'll just be all that jam on wook+.
AKA the end of wook+. Oh, I'm so excited, dude. I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate. I think I want to play. Oh God, there's so many games.
They have Zelda.
Well, it's funny because I now have every game I could possibly want at my fingertips, and the first thing I thought of was I'm gonna put the emulator on and go back and play Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. And I was like, dude, that's the first thing you do is go play a game you've already beat like 3 times instead of. I want to play Spider-Man though, Marvel Spider-Man. I want to. There's so many games I haven't played that I want to play. Yeah, I have GoldenEye on my Switch though. The Nintendo games I've played all of those. I'm looking forward to playing all the AAA games. I wanted to go through another guilty pleasure, but I think maybe I should skip it because I'm gonna regret saying it out loud. So we can
No,
move
say
on.
it. We're at
Why?
this point. The eggnog's flowing. Let's hear it.
Why do I admit these things? So a movie that I fucking love in around this time of year is The Holiday, and I feel like I should be ashamed to admit that, but I fucking love that movie.
I don't know what I do not know this movie, so I
It's
will
with,
not hold
like,
judgment.
Jude Law and Jack Black and Kate Winslet, who's my
Cameron Diaz, I think, isn't
Cameron
she the
Diaz.
other?
Kate Winslet's
Yeah.
my fucking.
That
I love her so
That
much.
came out after my cool days when I
It
saw
was
them.
like they like switch, or they like go to the, I can't remember, but like they hook up with the
Why
wrong,
did I insist on bringing that back? We were moved on, but I was just like, I wanted to.
What's the one where the couple has to go to
Confess.
four different Christmases? That was funny. Or was it Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, there's a Ben Affleck one too, right? That was pretty funny or weird too, that I kind of vaguely remember, but I don't remember, so it wasn't that good. But
Wasn't
was
that a
really
Kevin?
good.
Wasn't that a Kevin Smith movie with Ben Affleck and J Lo, and it was like a Christmas movie?
I don't
No, maybe
remember.
not.
Probably.
There was
'cause
one
Ben
with him.
was
There was,
hanging.
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite
that's
movies,
a great
Chris.
one.
I love that movie.
Isn't
I
Ben
really
back
like
with J-Lo?
everything she's in. What?
Isn't Ben back with J-Lo?
Yeah, they're married.
Yeah,
Married.
She's hot.
She is still hot.
Jersey
Good for
Girl.
them.
Oh yeah, Jersey Girl.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember
Jersey
her
Girl. That's
with-
it. That's
That's the
the
one.
Kevin
Oh,
Smith movie.
There it is.
I remember her as a fly girl in Living
Chasing
Color.
Amy. Oh my god, Kevin Smith movies are so much fun. That's like
Chasing Amy
Amy.
was. I think Dogma's my favorite though, just because all the stars they packed into that, and all the cameos and the
I
shit
really-
monster. And
I really like Clerks and I really like Mallrats.
What's the one where they go to 4 different Christmases and like
Yeah, Mallrats was way better than Dogma. I agree. Mallrats is probably the most polished Kevin Smith movie, but Clerks is the OG and Chasing Amy is like the raw. Like Chasing Amy is the like raw, crazy version of it. Mallrats is the most polished and most refined and probably the
Who was
best.
the woman in Chasing Amy? Because I had
Fucking
a crush
hottest
on her.
90s star ever that disappeared. I have no idea.
I
I just
had such a
remember
crush on her.
having the hots for her when I was a youngin' man.
Dazed and Confused is where she was like super smoking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so. Yeah. All right. That's a little creepy.
That's a
Kevin
great
McConaughey
movie.
was creepy in that movie, but
Kevin McConaughey?
Kevin.
That's his name? What's his name?
Matthew?
Matthew.
Kev, Kev just has like fucking everybody's Kevin. Oh god, that's fucking great. Dude, all right, I didn't prep anything. Were we supposed to prep for the year in review?
Well, the rear and review, we started off with Mexico. We knocked it out. We knocked it out with the after shows. And then when we got later into the year, we decided, T and I, all of us, and Tim was like, you and T run with it. We did the Dead and Company, which was huge for this channel. Probably a lot of you watching tonight first discovered us with that. And then we overlapped with all of Phish. I mean, we really knocked it out of the park. And wook+live is, I think, been consistent through the whole year, right?
Yeah.
The
and
after
Kev,
shows.
I
like,
love you patting us on the back. It's shit that I don't feel comfortable doing, but
The
you're
after
all
shows
over it.
really took on a life of their own this year. I mean, with doing the Dead and Co run was that was one of
You
those
guys did a
moments
great
that-
job with those. But honestly, it was my superior vision and management skill of
was.
deferring responsibilities. And I was like, you guys know some shit.
That's
Why
what
don't
I
you
felt
guys
like-
talk about it?
I
That's
tell
when
you
it-
what, go ahead, T.
I was gonna say that's when it felt like though we got into the Chad situation of like what did we get ourselves into doing these like every show, because it turned into it was a long tour. I mean, it was like every night, and like you said, Kev, it's homework. Like you got to watch the show and then you got to like have shit to talk about and know what it was. But those were fun. That was that what a great tour. First of all, like can we just talk about what a great fucking tour that Dead and Co tour was, which made the after shows that much easier to do because every night
People were
was
excited.
fire. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people were excited. And then we did the best thing, our best video ever, over 20,000, probably 21,000 views. Matt Busch, came on and sat down with us after Dead and Company tour and spent 2 hours talking about set lists with us. And God bless Matt. I love him with all my heart. And
That
That
was
was
a
so
really
much
good interview. You guys
I mean, the
killed it
interview
on
was
that.
great, and like trying not to fanboy out while talking to him about set lists and old things with Bobby and all. I mean, it was just that was the most memorable thing I took away from this year. I know when we first started talking about this, I was like, my thing is that interview, because that thing just sticks with me all the time. I was so proud of us for that one. That was really fun. And Matt is God bless Matt. He is
and
what a cool guy.
one other shout out.
21,000. Hold on, I'm gonna give the number for that. 21,785. That's a big fucking
So
number.
if 215 of you go check it out, we can cross that 22. And one other thing I want to shout out, T has put in a lot of work, and Llama has too, with Taper's Choice, and we have 14 different videos up with them at this point,
and 10 to go, and like 10 coming. So like we are the network for your Taper's Choice. Live performances and live videos. And we just did a sit down interview with them via the web, but talked to them about the tour and what's in store for next year. So that'll be coming out not before I can get to New York, but first part of next year we'll release a cool little interview with them that we just did last week, and more stuff from them next year. A lot of, like I said, 10 videos to come. So there's a lot more live. The whole tour's coming out, and those guys are awesome. It's so much fun. Like, and Tim letting me do it and put that shit up on our network is awesome. So
yeah, you guys have been killing it with it. I love those. I love the shows though. I mean, the interviews are great, but I love the shows, the video and the editing from that. You do a great job with those.
Right. One more plug.
I wanted to.
One more plug. Can I do one more plug?
Yeah. I want to plug shit, Kev.
Okay,
No, you go ahead, Kev. Fucking plug away.
If you got an extra $2 a month, become a member, because we have all kinds of, we have bonus stuff coming out that only members see. And if you don't want to and you subscribe and you like, we love you for that. We want you in the chat. We want you hanging out.
And if you just stumbled in here and have no idea what the fuck you're doing, we love you too. You're all
I'm gonna
welcome.
just piggyback off Kev's thing real quick. And the members, we did just
I'm never gonna be able to plug anything.
Taper's Choice exclusive song from their last show to members only on the channel. So that's up right now. And there's some more things coming. Our halftime hangs, intermission hangs with the members are always fun. So we're getting more stuff out there to make it worth your money.
It's almost like we're like, hey, this is the last live of the year. We have to plug everything. It's good. This is all good. These are all good plugs. I love these plugs. I wanted to give but in the year in review though, something I realized is we started 2 things this year that were pretty big in my mind that I really liked. The micro doses, which granted we haven't been super consistent with them, but that's only been this year that we started doing them. And I think we should keep hitting those because I really enjoyed those. And the Sunday morning show has been really fun. I know T, I'm sorry, West Coast, it sucks, but it's just time I had available. And I was like, I want to hang out Sunday morning. But no, we did a lot of good shit this year. Way to go. Pat ourselves on the back.
Can I send out one more thing?
No. All right, guys. All right, go ahead.
As the world celebrates, I just want to remind all of you, that if you're struggling, you're not alone. So reach out to someone, a friend, a family member, helpline, whatever you're feeling is valid. This means a lot to me. And if you notice someone around you is quiet or distant, be the light and brightens their day. Just a small act of kindness can mean more than you know to someone. So make sure you go out there and love everyone this time of year and always.
Kev, that's very sweet. I had one other silly thing to talk about before we ended the show, and I was hoping that I was hoping you'd do the sentimental thing after my silly thing. Now I feel bad, but no, that's a that's a great point. I want to emphasize it. Do you have that script? Can you read it again after the silly thing? No, it's not silly. Seriously, though, this is a hard time of year for people, and I think that's a great message, and I appreciate you sharing that. I had an idea, and I wanted to invite everybody to share your recaps with wook+, so we could share it with the community. So after every show, after the New Year shows, after the Dead & Co shows, after the Phish shows, we give you our hot or shit takes. But I really love reading the comments, and I really love seeing what you guys say in team chat. So I came up with this idea that if you guys want, if you're so inclined, and I'm going to promote this too, send us a video of your take of the shows and tag us. You can send it via Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, on Blue Sky. We're everywhere. Just tag us with your take of each show. And if we agree with you or we think it's interesting or worth sharing, we'll share your takes on the after shows. I think it would be really cool to get other voices involved because like we can tell you our thoughts on it. And sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't. But I would really love to involve the community and get some other fan takes. So
can I just clarify one thing on that? And he's saying, give us your takes on the Phish show, not on
not on our show. Right. Oh, the after show kind of sucked tonight.
Yeah, that one guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Keep him off of there. Yeah, we get enough of that shit. So you don't need to send us videos of that. Send us your takes on the Phish show.
On the Phish show, and we will share your takes with our takes on the after shows or the separate gangs. All right, guys. Merry Wookmas. This is fun as shit. I love all of you. I'm gonna go get some rest. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys. Be good. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy. Woo. Do we have a show next week, or is this it?
Got the New Year's Eve preview.
That's a lot. This is our last live.
It's a lot.
It's a pre-run lot.
The last live of the year. It was a good year.
A great year, man.
It was a very good year.
It was a very good year.
That
Your best
2023.
You guys are awesome.
Love you all. Love our fans. Love the chat.
Merry Christmas.